So we're talking about solving equations. A lot of times in applications and even problems, we're going to want to find the zeros. And the zeros are just a special solve for. All right, I want to solve for my x-intercepts. Where is my function 0? All right, so there's a lot of times what we want to look for is we want to know when the function is 0. We want to find the 0 of a function. Well, you start by setting your function equal to 0. That's what we want to solve. So take your equation, set it equal to 0, and then solve either algebraically or graphically. And I'm going to show you an example of both. All right, so I'm going to start off with the algebraic method. So suppose my function was 1 minus 1 half x, and I want to find the 0. So I want to find where my function equals 0. Well, the first thing is you set it equal to 0. 0 equals 1 minus 1 half x, and then we solve using our algebraic principles. Alright, I want to move, and you can move either term you want. I want to move the x term. I'm going to add my 1 half x to the other side. And so I get 1 half x equals 1. I want to get rid of the half by multiplying by 2. Well, whatever I do to one side of my equation, I have to do the other. Again, those reduce. Leave me with x. 1 times 2 gives me 2, and so there is my 0. When I take 2 and plug it in, I should get 0 out, and it does. If you plug 2 in into that equation, you'll get 0 out. It's my x-intercept to 0. It's where it crosses the x-axis. Alright, so that's the by hand method. I set it equal to 0, and then use my properties, isolate my x term, find my constant term, right, using my addition and multiplication principles. Right, well, we can also do this graphically. All right, so solving for zeros. I've got enough room to write it down here. I do. All right, so graphically now. So my second example will be graphically. So again, suppose my function was the expression 6 minus x divided by 7. 6 minus x divided by 7, so that's the fraction. Then I have another fraction, 2x minus 3 divided by 3 that I'm subtracting. So there's my equation. And I want to find its 0. Well, first thing is you set it equal to 0. And again, you could solve this one by hand. You'd have to find your lowest common denominator. And then you'd solve from there. Well, I'm going to solve this one graphically. All right, so in order to solve this graphically, all right, to find the 0, all right, what I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to graph the function. Alright, that's going to go into my y1 spot. Now this one you have to be careful when you graph it into the calculator. 6 minus x divided by 7 has to go in the first spot, and then subtract parentheses 2x minus 3 divided by 3. You need to have parentheses around the numerators. So the 6x minus x, parentheses divided by 7, minus parentheses 2x minus 3 divided by 3. And that's how I'll plug it into the calculator. Alright, so I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to go to my y equal. There's nothing there, and so I go ahead and plug them in. So again, first thing I do is put parentheses. The first fraction's numerator was 6 minus x. Calculator work. Minus. Alright, so I'm having issues with my calculator again. So 6 minus x divide by 7 was in the first, and then minus the grouping symbol 2x minus 3 divided by 3. Alright, 2x minus, make sure I typed them in right? Alright, for some reason it's not showing up, but it's showing up on mine. And so again, if you typed it in, there it goes. Alright, so 6 minus x divided by 7 minus 2x minus 3 in parentheses. Again, you have to type it in that way, otherwise it won't follow order of operation. So make sure you put parentheses around your numerators. Alright, and then go ahead and graph. Alright, so there's, again, I'm only graphing one equation, right, because there's one function I'm graphing. And so where we want to go in order to find out how to do this, it's in the same place that we did the intersects. If you go to the second trace, right? I'll do calculations on my graph. So you hit second trace and it pops up that window. Or it should. Second trace on calculator. And then if you have your calculator there, it should have value, 0, min, max, intersect. Well, you want 0, right? You want to pick 2. Pop away and pop back, see if that helps it. Second trace. Alright, so I'm going to walk you through it. So on your calculator, you should have the picture that I had up there before. Alright, so if you have your calculator out, it should have that picture. And then you hit second trace. You know, technology is a wonderful thing unless it doesn't work. And so once you hit second trace, so second trace, the second one down is the 0. That's the one you want to pick. So you want to pick 2. Alright, so second trace 2. Alright, then it'll ask you left bound, right bound. So just make sure that you go, so there's my 0 that I want to find. I want to find what that x value is. Just make sure you go to the cursor to the left of it and put the cursor to the right of it. Alright, so you want to make sure you go to the left of it and the right of it. And then guess, then you can get as close to you as you want. So if you go to the left of it, hit enter, go to the right of it, hit enter, and then guess, which just means, you know, your guess gets as close as you can. So the closer you are, the quicker your calculator will find it. And then it'll find it. It'll find that x value is approximately 2.29. Right there, it finally popped up. So second trace second trace 0, so 2. You want to go to the left, enter, the right, enter, guess, enter, and then it'll find it, so 2.294. Alright, 2.294, and so there's my solution. So my 0 is approximately 2.294. So again, solving for the 0 on the calculator. Alright, let's hope it works better the next time. So this is a new program I'm using because my license ran out on my last program, so hopefully it will improve with time. Alright, but there's solving for zeros on the calculator. It's important. We will be doing lots of applications where you have to find zeros. Zeros are very important to be able to find those. Alright, so by hand or on the calculator.